Hi, this is Antisk. I'm at the temple, and I just thought I'd come through and just have a little talk. I'm sorry if it's a little bit dark. I might just see if I can lighten it up. Behind me here, you can see this beautiful little tiny cabin, and what I do is I work as a trauma therapist, and trauma is an individual thing. Everybody is totally different, and it doesn't matter what type of trauma. It can be sexual trauma like myself. It can be, trauma from even childbirth. It can be trauma from losing somebody that was really close to you. It can be trauma from just not being able to cope. And we all, I feel, suffer with some type of trauma. So what I do is I offer a 3-day healing immersion, which is a really special thing. So you come here to me. I'm in southeast Queensland, Australia. I'm on 65-acre of mountainous wilderness property, no neighbours or no close neighbours, and I've got absolutely beautiful gardens here and nice little walkways and a place that is made for just serenity, peace. I've got lots of animals, wildlife, peacocks, geese. They all walk around in the yard, and you can just spend the time here. And what I do is I set up a package. So I offer it very, very cheap, because a lot of people that are suffering with trauma are too traumatized to go out and actually make money. So they suffer silently. A lot of them suffer silently. Now, and like I said, it's a very personal thing, because sometimes you don't feel like you want to, share with other people what you're going through because of being victimized. And so here you are offered a 3-day in this beautiful little cabin. It's got a double bed, it's got a veranda, it's got a little kitchen out the back with gas fridge and gas stove. It's got a shower set up in it, so everything that you need is set up there. The toilet isn't very far. It's just over here where I am now. And I live very, very alternate, so it's only got a solar light on it, and you can charge your mobile phone. But what I actually do is I ask you, when you're doing your 3-day healing immersion, that it becomes a sacredness practice for yourself. So it's very important, because you're going to go through process. I'm going to give you some different tools that will stay with you for the rest of your life. So I teach you how to do journaling. I teach you how to do motivation skills. I teach you how to do a goals chart, so that we focus on different things in your life to give you self-esteem. And when you go out of here, you go out to, be able to cope and get on with your life. I also show you how to set up like a journal type of thing, but out of the journal, I'll show you how to make a book out of it, so that it's an inspiring one. It's not all about the deep-seated things. That's another part of your journal. I give you a different word every day. So I said before, motivation. So I might give you the word today. What is your motivation? What do you want in your life to be motivated at? So you might say, well, I want to have more exercise, or I want to lose some weight. I want to be more loving. I want to, I'd like to attract a partner. They're your motivation and goals skills. So I show you how to set that up so you stay on track. We can get really off track quite easily, and we can go into a slump and we forget how to use those skills. But after you've been with me for 3 days, you'll find the seriousness of it. And every day I get you to do a journal, and I get you just to write down about the things that you've learned, what you've learned, how your progress is going, how you're coping when you're here. Are you processing? Are you processing something from yesterday? And if you are, then I'll go through that with you as well. So it's very important while you're here that you actually come here being prepared that you're not actually going to have much to do with the outside world, because you need to go deep within yourself, which is a skill within itself. Now while you're here, I actually take you through some sound healing, and I get you to make some sounds, and I'll be doing some energy work on you to shift through blockages that you have in your body, and we can have different blocks, and I'll tell you all about those and how they work and how they connect with all the different energies in your body. So I'm trained with not just about chakra work and spiritual work, I'm also trained on physical work as well. Organ relation to the emotions, the colors, the sounds, the food that you eat, the taste, the seasons. It's a whole lifestyle of learning, but I'm not going to, have you go home thinking, oh, I can never remember everything that she told me, because I'm going to make it really, really, really simple. So I give you a lot of time to spend on yourself, and so you'll be sitting on the veranda or out in the garden, and you'll be doing some walking, you'll be doing some thinking, you'll be right in tune with your own self about with just some guided skills that I'll give you, so that you can actually become aware of what you hold inside. Now that is a really powerful journey of what we hold inside. Sometimes we're not even aware of it, and then all of a sudden when it comes up, it's like triggering it. Okay, so we go through all of that sort of stuff as well. So it's a practice, and it's a time that when you come to me, you have to be really prepared and to motivate yourself that you're going to go through this healing journey. And most people, when they come here, they're in a pretty much of a mess because they're getting ready for that release. So the release can be, you could feel really teary, you can feel angry, you can feel like you want to, look at everybody else. But I teach you why you are here, that it's about you. All the people out there are the external world, and we can't handle what they do. We can't change what they do, but you can change what you do. Okay, so for me on my journey, I have done this, and it changed my life, and I learned all the skills. I'm trained in all different types of things. I'm trained in trauma release in America by 3 different people. 2 of them were females, 1 of them was a male. I'm trained in energy work with organs in China. I'm trained in energy work in organs in Thailand, and I'm also trained with the chakra work and energy work and sound healing in India. So I've traveled a lot, and I've put all of these practices, and I drop them all in because they all work together, and I find that it's completely powerful. I see transformation from about the second day. You're feeling a little bit maybe sorry for yourself for feeling the power of what it's doing, because it starts hitting home that you're actually doing something for yourself. And some of you may have relied on a lot of other people to do it all for you. Okay, because we can go to therapists, we can tell them we can't cope and they can do all the work for us, but this time you're going to do it for yourself. So it becomes a very, very unique and a very powerful practice. Okay, so when I take you through around about the second day, because you're here for 3 days, and so I take you through the healing power, and it really starts to get things out. So it's going to come out via the airways of the throat, because a lot of the time when you're traumatized, your throat is stuck and blocked. You can't say what you want to say. You haven't got the people to listen. You don't know how to say it. You don't want to share with people and all types of things. You don't even have to share your story with me, but if you can share have a storytelling where you can actually sit in a non-judgment, non-critical, and a very supportive place with me and share your story with me, that is very powerful, because I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm not going to jump in. I'm not going to criticize you or correct you. I'm just going to be listening to you. Now, that word listening, there's a big difference between a listener and somebody that hears you. Okay? Most people have hearing. They can hear, but they're only going to hear 20% of what you have to say. The rest of the time, they're going to be hearing everything, especially here. I can hear now the crickets, and I can hear the wind in the trees. I can hear the peacocks. So I'll be hearing, if I was only hearing, I'd be hearing a little bit of your story, and I'll be getting distracted by all the other sounds. Okay, so the other one is a listener. A listener is going to listen to 90% of what you're going to say, and you have to be trained to actually be a listener. Okay, and not a lot of people might know that. That's in all the holistic counselling qualifications. I've trained in that, and that was one of the things that really struck home to me, because I couldn't share my story, and I never knew why, because people didn't really want to listen. The moment that I tried to open up, they'd say, oh, look, we don't really have to talk about that. Okay, so they were only hearing. They weren't listening to me. So I am trained as a listener. So I'm going to listen to you. And by listening to you, tell your story with nobody else, just you and me, in a very confident, supportive, and a very secure practice, that you're going to actually listen to how you feel when you get into the deep-seated things about yourself. Okay, and sometimes it's something that you've never done before. Okay, for me, when I done it, that was the very first time that I done it. Okay, so I'm talking about all the things that I've experienced myself. So I want to be an advocate of my work, and I want to be able to see people do what I've done, come out of it as a shining light, without having to blame anybody anymore, feeling immersed in happiness, good health, seeing the rays of the sun, waking up to a new day, being able to breathe into the life. And while you're here as well, we'll go out into the field, and we'll go out and we'll do some little practices. We can do some breath work to open your airways and your throat. We can do some practices to take all the stiffness and tightness out of your body, like soft practices of Qigong. So if you haven't done those before, they're very soft, they're very flowing. Anybody can do them. They are a lot of fun, and they just make you feel energized and awake and alive and fresh, and being able to get on with the rest of the day. We're born on the earth to be able to experience, love, peace, and happiness. And that is about yourself, to have love, peace, and happiness, inner peace, inner happiness. Okay, and then when you've experienced that and you've felt that and you've got it, you go out there and you attract it into your life. So if you find that you're being stuck in a different way, and you haven't attracted that perfect partner, or you haven't attracted that family of friends that you'd like to have, and supportive friends and a group of females, or join groups, or being able to go to different things and feel like you really fit in, then that's where I would like to see you go. Okay, and then once you go from here, I'm not just going to send you away. I'm going to actually keep in contact with you for a little while. Just do a little check-in on you, and not an invasive check-in. I'm just going to ask you, how are you going? I just want a little bit of feed up just to make sure that you're traveling okay. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea, and I will put this video on my 3-day healing immersion so that you can have a look at the other things on the Facebook. And where I am is I'm 48 kilometers from Gympie. I'm on private property, so when you're here, nobody else comes. Anybody that comes needs to have permission to come onto my property. So I know that you're safe and you're sound and you're not going to be invaded by strangers. So that's really, really important for you as well. Okay, so and the only other one that's here is my supportive husband that does all the different thing. He feeds the horses and he looks after the animals, and you'll see him out doing the gardening or whatever. And you can go and have a cup of coffee with him if you like. He's not going to ask you any personal things. And he understands the work that he does. And because of him, I can do this work because I too am supported in my field. Okay, so thank you for joining me. This is Antis Atma and signing off. Bye.